As public pressure for chicken welfare demands to be acknowledged, the need to adjust the current model of poultry housing increases. Barren battery cages were outlawed by the European Union in January of 2012. They held 4 to 5 hens in cages that were the space of a sheet of paper and were just tall enough for the hens to stand upright. In the United States, the space allowance is sometimes only half as much, with 6 to 8 hens in the same area. In some cases, the chickens are not allowed to go outside or leave their cages. Enriched colony cages were introduced as an alternative to barren battery cages, since they are bigger and have a small area in which the chickens can roam. But they did little to improve the situation, as they are only about 20% larger and many chickens sustained injuries from falling off installed perches. Inhumane poultry housing requires change. However, an increase in space requires more heat. As more heat is used, more energy is necessary, causing farms to give off a greater carbon emission. According to a 2008 EPA estimate, about 6.4% of greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S. are from agriculture, and poultry makes up about 0.6% of that percentage. So how do we maximize the area of the housing while minimizing our carbon footprint? Chickens have an internal body temperature of 105 to 107 degrees Fahrenheit, and the thermoneutral zone that allows them to maintain this temperature is between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Most of the carbon dioxide emissions that are generated are from the use of fossil fuels. The primary method of heating is to use propane to power furnaces or incinerators. Especially during the colder months, propane is required to maintain ideal temperature, and with more space comes more propane usage. Solutions to the minimization of carbon footprint while increasing the housing areas of chickens are attainable. By enclosing and insulating any openings, heat loss is reduced dramatically, minimizing carbon emissions. Circulatory fans decrease the amount of temperature stratification, which is the different layers of temperature in a building. Using electricity with radiant heaters instead of gas is another huge way to cut down on CO2 emissions. Radiant heaters will also help decrease the temperature stratification. Chickens can have more living space without more environmental consequences.